Okay, we're back. Welcome to Wherever It Goes, episode 11.
Yes.
Last week we had Kat on, homeschool mom. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. It was an interesting conversation. I thought she was great. The interview went well. The conversation went well, but I didn't like doing a remote.
I can't tell. Okay, I'm good. Go.
I didn't like having a remote interview because I don't know. There was just something weird about it.
It was a little bit difficult setup wise. Like setting it up was a little bit hard, but
Yeah, you did the entire setup, didn't you?
yeah. No, Carlos did the entire setup. I watched and it was difficult for me to watch.
I thought the setup was fine. I thought it looked great. I thought the recording went well. It was just having,
Starting was difficult. We had some technical difficulties.
yeah, that was a little rough. There was
That's what I
some,
was talking about.
yeah, there was some issues with that, but oh, just cracked my hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think I don't really want to do any more remote guests. She was cool. Nothing wrong with her. It was
Yeah,
just
she was
like
great.
it didn't feel right. Like the
It felt, yeah. I feel like in person it would be better because we could have like like casual conversation.
yeah.
But yeah, it just felt like it kind of felt like like job interviewee. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it felt a
saying?
little too professional,
Yeah, it
and I
was
don't think
not.
that's
I think because we thought about it too much and we thought about like having questions for her too much. Like
yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. Instead of just having like a casual conversation, how I would having coffee with somebody and asking them about homeschool, it felt very much like staged
Yeah.
and not organic. And so I feel like in our interviews going forward, we should definitely not have it like planned out in our minds. Um
Yeah, but I also wanted to kind of like respect her and because she wanted to know what we were going to talk about.
yeah.
And yeah, I feel like you have to respect their time and especially with with it being a remote interview, it's like I don't know, it just feels less authentic, more staged, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But I imagine if we have like some friends over and we talk to them, like that's kind of how I want it to feel.
Yeah.
I don't want it to feel like, so tell me about this.
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me about that. And then tell me about that. Like it, I don't know. It feels like our podcast. I want it to be more of a very organic, very raw, and
Mhm.
not, hey, you have everything figured out.
Yeah.
You know. Um. Again, nothing against Kat. I don't want it to seem like we didn't enjoy her.
I don't think you sound like that at all. Kat
Okay.
was great. I loved talking to her. I got a lot of information
Yeah.
from her that I wanted to know.
There's also like, it's not like she's the only person that knows about homeschooling in the world. Like I feel like
Right.
we know some people who homeschool, and we could get them on, and
Yeah.
so and could have more authentic kind of conversations with them. But yeah, before that, didn't we take a little bit of a break? No. Did we release an episode the week before? I don't know.
Yes.
But I think what we're going to try to do is be more consistent about releasing an episode every week. That's something I really want to kind of make a, a priority or a goal at least. New kind of setup here. If you guys haven't noticed, we have, if you're watching on YouTube, we got some nice chairs off Amazon. That was a
Yeah,
cool
a
find.
really good deal. These chairs are so nice.
Yeah, I like them. They're comfy.
They're so comfy. Yeah, and they look very professional.
They look nice.
Yeah,
They're sturdy.
if you've been here since day 1, you've seen all the different chairs that we've
A
had.
change like every week. But
Uh,
yeah, we went from the living room to the beanbag chairs, right? That was, and then we went to those
yeah.
blue chairs, which no idea why I bought those. I was looking on Marketplace and I saw cheap chairs and I was like, we need some chairs. I didn't really consider the color of them. And then until like looking at the podcast, I was like, that looks ugly.
I tried to tell you,
Yeah.
but when Carlos has something in his mind, like, his mind is made up. Like, when he
Yeah.
wants something, he gets it.
Yeah. Or I try to.
Yeah.
Like these chairs, once I changed my mind to getting different chairs, we got these ones and definitely, I mean,
Worth it.
yeah, big these are I love these chairs. I think
Yeah.
they're so cool. And they're so sturdy and like they were a lot bigger than I thought they'd be like little tiny chairs, but they're pretty
Yeah,
big.
they're very comfortable. Anyway,
Um
let's stop talking about, like, logistics. I don't think anybody really wants to hear that.
yeah, and we have 3 cameras now. Anyway, yeah, so a couple weeks ago, we hit our 3-year anniversary.
We did, and we got tattoos.
Yep.
For our anniversary, we got our rings tattooed. Yeah,
I don't know if you can see
mine,
them.
you definitely can't see mine. I got a white tattoo, and I did not want to get, like, a ring or, like, just a line. I wanted to get so if any of you have seen in person my wedding ring, it's actually a puzzle ring. I don't know if,
You know what we'll do?
cameras are gonna pick it up.
Let's make a post about it on our Instagram. So if you want to see our rings, our tattooed rings and Emily's puzzle ring, we'll make a whole reel
Yeah.
about it on Instagram. You guys can go check that out at
Yeah.
wherever it goes podcast.
Yep. If you wanna see what a white tattoo looks like on a 99.7% European, go ahead and
Yeah.
go ahead and check out our Instagram.
Let me see what it looks like now.
It's really not that bad. It's still kinda red because it got a little bit infected
It looks
because
because
the
you didn't clean it.
center no, because the center the rest of the tattoo healed beautifully. The center, I think he just went over it too many times and it like there's no skin. It's just a giant scab.
But you were also not being as much of a clean freak as I was about
I was washing my hands a lot. What I wasn't doing
how
was
much.
putting the hustle butter on it.
Yeah. How much did you like wash and scrub it a day?
Probably like 6 or 7 times a day. I
Yeah.
wash my hands a lot.
I was doing it a ton, and then, yeah, every time I washed it, I would put that hustle butter on it,
Yeah.
and mine healed pretty good. I got a dark one, so mine's in black ink. Emily
Mhm.
got hers in white ink, and it looks like a little
Because
scar.
because I actually so the reason that Carlos wanted to get our rings tattooed was because so he has a ring somewhere out there.
Yeah.
Somewhere, we don't know where. But
Yeah.
he just never wears it, and so he's like, "You know what? I don't wanna have to worry about, like, wondering where my wedding ring is or anything, so let's just get it tattooed." And I was like, "Okay, well, I like to wear my wedding ring." I love my ring. And so
Yeah,
I
you have a
didn't
cool
wanna
one.
get a dark tattoo underneath my wedding ring and have it pop out, so I wanted white. And it looks and I got a sparkle. I didn't wanna get, like, just a line. I wanted to get the weave of my actual wedding ring, but,
It's too intricate
it's
to
too intricate to put on my tiny little finger. So I just got, like, a sparkle, like it like a diamond. And I got it in white, and I have to go and get a follow-up appointment and have him go over it one more time, but it looks pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah,
looks pretty good.
you weren't that happy with it, but I think it's starting to heal a little bit
Yeah,
better. Like, it's starting to
yeah.
you can actually see a little bit more,
Mhm.
the shape of it.
Yeah.
Versus when you got it, it's like you could almost not even tell something was there.
Yeah, it just looked like I scratched my finger.
But
Now it looks pretty good.
kinda looks good with the red of the infection going on. But yeah, so we got those done. I got, our date tattooed, so I got a 4-6 in Roman numerals, so IVVI, and it's starting to peel. It's been a couple weeks. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll get mine touched up too, but that was my first tattoo,
Yeah.
and I thought it went well. I, definitely hurt a little bit more than I thought.
Mhm. The tattoo artist did it stick and poke, so he didn't use the machine, he
Mhm.
did stick and poke. Which this is now the second stick and poke tattoo that I have. This is my 3rd tattoo, and this is also my only professional tattoo that I've ever had.
I would say the one you got on your arm, it was by a family
It would
friend? Is
in
that what it
my
was?
so the tattoo that I have on my arm, it's flowers, and I drew these flowers. I drew them, and my brother's friend was or is a tattoo artist, and he did it in his living room, but he wasn't like He wasn't, like, a practicing tattoo artist. At this point, he was, like, kinda done with it, and it was just, like, a hobby, and so he did it
So
in his living
he'd done
room.
tattoos before,
Yeah,
and then he tattooed you.
yeah.
I would say that's professional.
Yeah, kinda.
Better than the one that you did to yourself.
I like my stick and poke.
Emily has a 3-hole punch tattoo on her ankle. And what does it mean?
Thing. It literally means nothing. My friend and I, Sydney, if you're watching this, I know what tattoo is on your ankle,
What is it?
the cross,
Really?
or like a half done cross because she didn't let me finish it.
So it's just a plus sign or
It's just like
a
a
line?
line.
So it's, so it's just one
I
part of
think, yeah, it's been so long.
that's funny.
Yeah,
I wonder if she ever finished it.
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, it hurt a little bit more. I don't know how yours felt. How did yours feel? You didn't really talk about it.
It really wasn't that bad.
You looked a little uncomfortable at one point.
It was because he kept going over the middle
Yeah.
hard, and now it's literally like all
That's
of
the
my
only part that's
tattoo
kind
is
of
healed
scabbed.
except for this center. The center is just a scab because he went over it so many times because um,
It wasn't showing up.
he kept saying like, "Oh, this isn't showing up. Like, it's not. I don't think we can do white on your skin. It's just not showing up." So he kept going over it, and now it's just like a big scab.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Womp womp. It's not like it
Anyway.
lasts forever.
Mm, there's gonna be somebody out there, I know it. Somebody's gonna say, "You shouldn't get tattoo matching couple tattoos. It's gonna be so funny when you guys get divorced."
Yeah. I think here's my perspective on that. I think when you get married, I think it should be more common to have like a tattoo artist or something at the wedding and you
Mm,
both get your rings tattooed.
yeah,
If you're worried about getting split up, if you're worried about getting divorced and that's why you don't want to get your ring tattooed, then it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't be getting married.
right.
If you're worried that you're going to split up, maybe you shouldn't be getting married to that person. Um, yeah, that's kind of been my joke though, is with people at work, like I show them it and then I'll say, I'm like, yeah, now I'm stuck with her forever because our marriage is going to last as long as this tattoo lasts, I guess. And I think people don't really find that funny, is what I'm realizing.
Yeah.
Like they're just like,
I think your
huh?
sense of humor you have a sense of humor that is so, it's an acquired taste.
It's, I think you have to know that I'm joking. I don't make it clear a lot of the time.
You don't, and
Yeah.
sometimes I will literally have to, like, in front of the people that Carlos is making the joke to, I
You'll
have
have
to
to
be like,
laugh
I have
or,
no, or I'll have to be like, "Carlos, n don't joke about that. Now is not the time to joke about that."
or you'll like kind of, you'll like do like a
I'll
nervous laugh and then like
yeah,
shake and be like, haha, no.
yeah,
Like, cause usually I'm making a joke about you.
yeah.
Like I'll say something like, yeah, I'm going to go home and beat Emily or something. I
Like,
don't know.
he literally jokes about that, like, he it's not even like, I know he's joking, and if you know Carlos, you know the kinda
That's
jokes
not
he makes,
true.
but, like,
Yeah.
some of the jokes that he makes, it's like, "Dude, maybe don't say that."
Yeah. And
Somebody's not gonna understand that you're joking, and they're gonna call
yeah,
the cops on you.
someone's going to use a clip of me saying that
Yeah.
in the future. And they're going to say, look, it's never okay to joke about
Yeah.
abusing your spouse, which is like,
It's
I think the only thing that makes it, or one thing that makes a joke funny is knowing that it's not true. And I think that's the part of humor that I kind of, uh, what's the saying? I kind of ride the line.
Here's the thing, is you make the joke knowing that it's not true what you're joking about,
Yeah.
but other people do not know that it's not
That's
true,
what I'm
and
saying.
that's where it's like, okay, that might not be funny to them,
Yeah.
and sometimes, yeah, I literally am just like, I'll, like, hit him, and I'll be like, "Carlos, like, no,
Like, don't
don't
say
say
that.
that." Um,
Yeah, I made a joke in front of our family about putting our dog down,
oh
and
my gosh.
it just
It blew up.
it
No one thought
it
that was
crashed. Yeah,
funny.
it was a
Yeah.
bomb, and then they actually like almost started kind of like getting mad at me for saying that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what? Part of me was being truthful about that, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
I need to make it more clear about when I'm joking.
yeah.
feel like there's another example. I feel like I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay. So I was getting my hair cut, and they were talking about a dog that they had. One of the hairdressers, whatever you call it, barbers, is a woman. She had her dog had puppies, and she was like, "You should take one. Like, there's this really cute one. You should have it, or you should buy it, or whatever." And it was cute. They showed me a photo and whatever. And then I think it was a boy dog or something. I was like, I don't really do boy dogs. Like, I don't really like them. I only like girl dogs. And then I said, the only issue with the girl dog is they spray. Cause our dog, Sasha, she like,
Yeah, it's disgusting.
or I
Yeah.
don't know if it's spraying or like
I call it
leaking.
yeah, it's she has, like, anal glands that you have to go and get cleaned or it starts to, like, spray and it just stinks. It's disgusting.
It smells like fish. Like
Yeah,
it
it's
makes our
gross.
house like stink, but at least it doesn't linger. Like it she sprays or leaks or
I
whatever
don't know what goes on.
oozes.
Yeah.
Something happens to where this scent is released and then it's there for probably
5
30
minutes.
seconds. No.
5
5
minutes,
minutes.
dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe like but still short, like 1 to 5 minutes. And it's short and then
Yeah.
it'll cuz if
It doesn't,
that
like,
stayed
make
around,
our carpet stink or anything,
at least I don't
thank
think.
God.
I think.
No, I
Maybe
don't.
we just yeah, we've gone nose blind. I don't know.
Anyway,
Anyway,
what was the joke?
yeah, so I was telling them like you have to drain their anal glands. Like at least our dog, you have to drain her anal glands. And then we went and talking about that. And I was telling them about like how I practiced on myself first.
Oh my gosh.
And
You know you did not, dude.
yeah, and they all just looked at me
Oh, no.
because they didn't know I was joking.
See, that's because I bet you did not even like like what's
Like
that word?
clarify.
No, you probably
Or,
didn't present it like a joke. You were probably straight
yeah,
faced,
yeah, yeah. I
like
wasn't
I
like
practice on myself first.
yeah.
And that's where nobody can tell if you're joking. You need to present it as a joke, dude. Because literally
How can I?
sometimes I have a hard time telling if you're joking and I'm like, "What the heck did you just
Yeah.
say?"
I don't know because I've heard it's not a joke if you have to say it's a joke. But then at the same time, like right after that, there was a little bit of tension, and then I said, "I'm just kidding," and then they all like bursted out in laughter. They because it was because I created such an awkwardness. I think that's where my humor is, right? It's like creating this uncomfortable awkwardness and then releasing it. And so like giving people an out and being like, "Okay, that was a joke." And then they're like, "Oh, okay, thank goodness you were joking about
But I feel like
that."
they're probably just, like, laughing out of feeling uncomfortable because
Yeah, that's what it is.
if you would have said that to me and I didn't know, like, if you were somebody else and they said that and then and then it was, like, an
It would have made you uncomfortable.
awkward silence, and then they said, "I'm just kidding." I would have thought in my head, "You're not kidding. You're saying that because it got awkward. You probably did practice on yourself."
No. I don't think oh gosh, I hope not. I hope that's not what they thought. I think I made it clear. I was like, no, I'm totally just kidding." Because that's such a weird thing to say,
But it's like you don't even laugh at your own
but it was a
jokes
little
though.
believable.
That you don't even laugh at your own jokes, so it doesn't feel like a joke.
But
Like
I
when
don't
I
think
tell a joke, I'm hysterical, dude. I crack myself up. But you, straight stone cold face, you're like, yeah,
yeah.
you this is probably exactly how you did it. Yeah, she has like these anal glands and you have to like drain them. So I had like practiced on myself first.
That's pretty funny.
Cause you know I'm joking.
That's I think well what's beautiful about that is that listen,
What's beautiful?
what's
Oh my gosh. My
listen,
side
what's
hurts.
beautiful about this is like in the future with my friends in the future once I've established like once I've got my hair cut there probably 3 times, 3 or 4 times. In a year, they'll know, Carlos is the funny guy. Don't believe anything he says, especially when it comes to like draining his own anal glands or whatever.
Or they're gonna say, "That guy is freaking weird.
Yeah.
Literally don't." Like,
Yeah,
just ignore him.
but
He's
maybe I'll make
so
them laugh, you know? Maybe, like, I can be the weird guy. I'll be the comic relief. I don't know.
Uh,
Because my jokes aren't ever just like, "Hey, a horse walked into a bar." You know, it's like, I don't joke like that. My jokes are like, it's gonna make you a little bit
like I
uncomfortable.
said, they're an acquired taste.
Yeah.
You gotta get used to it.
Yeah, but then I do have some good jokes, that are clearly jokes. This morning, what was the song that we were listening to? You said, who do you think, uh, who do you think this song is by?
Oh, you said Jack Black.
No, 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 it was Morgan Wallen. There was the
Oh,
Morgan Wallen
yeah.
song.
So, it was
That was
this
a
song.
different one.
Yeah, we did it right. Jack Black.
I'm not that bad at
So
yeah.
so, we were listening to "Wind Up Missing You" by Tucker Westmore, and everybody when this song came out, like, everyone thought it was a Morgan Wallen song, and so I was like, "Carlos, who do you think sings the song?" And he's like, "Morgan Wallen," and I said, "No, this guy's name is Tucker Westmore. Doesn't he sound just like Morgan Wallen?" And he goes, "Oh, that's" I can't even do it. He said, "Oh, that's Morgan Wallen."
What? I
I
don't know why
think
the guy.
Tucker Westmore should totally have a stage name of Worgan Mullen, dude, because they sound exactly the
Yeah. Do you
same.
think, who came first?
What?
Who was first? Like, who started singing first, or who, like, blew up first?
Morgan Mullen.
Yeah,
Tucker
so
Westmore is new.
do you think that he heard Morgan Wallen, he's like, "Hey, I think I can kind of copy his style."
No, I think you know what? I
Because
don't
country
know.
music is definitely like that, where it's like, I don't think I was gonna
I
say
think
no one
all music is like that because when you listen to pop music,
today especially,
literally every new pop artist that comes out, they all sound like Julia Michaels.
or
They all sound like Julia Michaels or
no,
Billie Eilish.
uh, Billie Eilish is unique, okay? I will defend her.
Or okay, they try to sound like Billie
No, no, no,
Eilish.
no, no.
They all literally, if they all sang a song, I would not be able to tell who is
I
singing.
think Julia Michaels is a category. I think, like, Tate McRae is a category. Billie Eilish is her own thing. I don't think I can pick Billie Eilish out.
Okay, I could pick Billie Eilish out, but I think they all try to sound like Billie Eilish.
I don't know. Like who?
Literally everybody.
No, I think they
But here's the thing: is it's the same thing with country music.
Olivia Rodrigo, she's her own or she's not her own category. She's a category that people try to copy. So you have Tate
I
McRae,
don't think
Julia
so.
Michaels, Olivia Rodrigo, like that, like young girl vibe. I think Billie Eilish sounds different than all the other like young girls.
I don't know. I think Olivia
I don't know.
Rodrigo kind of just sounds like a mix of everybody. But anyway, it's the same thing with country music. Like everyone's trying to either sound like
Morgan Wallen
Megan Maroney or Morgan Wallen or Zach Bryan.
or what's his name? Luke something? Luke Bryan?
Luke Bryan?
Is that what you said?
Zach Bryan.
Are they brothers?
No.
Why are you
No.
laughing at me? They got the same last name.
No, Luke Bryan and Zach Bryan are not brothers. They're
They
quite a few years apart in
they both sing
age.
country music.
Yeah. Zach Bryan was
Bryan is spelled different,
Zach Bryan was in the Navy, I think.
and Luke Bryan was on American Idol,
Yeah. He's a
right?
judge on American Idol now.
Actually,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah. Music isn't what it used to be. I mean, that's why recently I've been listening to a lot of like 2000s music because everyone had their own little sound.
Yeah.
You had
The Black Eyed Peas.
the Killers. Is that what the band is?
Yeah.
U2 was their own thing. One Republic. I almost said One Direction. But
One
even then,
Direction
One Direction.
also, yeah.
I feel like One Direction was like kind of that was the boy band thing, and then the boy
Yeah.
bands started just being boy bands, and I don't never got into
What other boy bands were there except One Direction and 5SOS?
the Jonas Brothers.
Duh. Yeah, but they all sound different. Like
I
you
don't know.
can clearly Joe Jonas and Nick Jonas, I could tell their voices out of a million
Yeah,
people. I
I
really
think
could.
maybe this is the issue too, is that today's music world is so oversaturated.
It is. Literally everyone and their freaking dog can sing these days. Um, Everyone wants to be a singer, and here's the thing is with social media, everyone can be a singer. So it's like, really, are there unique people out there? No.
Yeah,
Or
I've
I
seen
guess there are, but not very many.
you just need to have one like catchy song and then everyone you see what's her name? Natalie Jennings or Natalie Jenkins something. She
I don't know who you're talking about.
I used to watch or I used to see her videos when she was like wasn't really taking singing seriously. She would just kind of make fun of singers in her TikToks or whatever. And then she started taking it seriously. She had like one good or she had a I think it was she did a video of her singing in a parking garage, singing like crazy or something, and everyone started being like, "Woo, you sound great." And then she was like, "Hey, I do sound great." And then now she has like millions of followers.
Mm,
But so it is kind of crazy that like you can go from I don't want to say a nobody, but not very popular to you make the right kinds of videos and then all of a sudden
yeah.
millions of people are watching you.
It's
That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's kind of like I remember growing up, like the only famous people that there were like uh people in Disney, people that were like actors
Actor.
or
I'm an actor.
singers. And you would see them on TV. But now it's like literally you post the right video and you're TikTok famous
Mhm.
or you're viral. And so it feels like everybody is kind of famous. We're not famous, but
We're getting there.
it just kind of feels like fame isn't like a it's not unique
Exclusive.
anymore. It's not exclusive anymore.
Yeah.
Like when I was little, my only dream was to be an actor and a singer and to be famous. I wanted to be the female Justin Bieber so bad. That was my dream forever. And now it's like, okay, well, everyone's the freaking female Justin Bieber now.
You're gonna love this one. Bustin' Jeeber. No, he's unique too. I don't think anyone is really
Oh yeah, I love JB. I
he's
love you,
still out
JB.
there. Yeah. Tag JB in the comments.
Please. I
um
would love to be friends with him and Haley Bieber.
when
They
he
seem so cool.
when he released the song Lonely, I
That's a good song.
that made me want to like give him a hug. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know this guy, but that was real because it was like everybody saw me as a I don't I don't know exactly what he said. You'll probably know exactly what he said, but it's like everyone saw me as a kid and I was making mistakes and they all just made fun of me instead of helping me. It's kind of the
It was a and
everybody
everybody
saw
saw me
me sick
sick. Felt like no one gave a shiz.
shiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They criticized the things that I did as an idiot kid.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I was like, dang, bro. The whole world was against him at a certain
What
point.
if you had it all and nobody to call?
Yeah.
Maybe then you'd know me. Ah, JB, my heart breaks for you.
Yeah. Cause you think that he had it all, which
Yeah.
he did, except for peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then that's the thing also is like as a kid and as a teenager, I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be famous so bad. That's all I wanted. And then now like as an adult and with social media, like all these famous TikTokers or YouTubers or whatever, they're literally like this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Hmm.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Like yes, I have this money. Yes, I have this platform, but I am so depressed. I am so sad. And I think um a lot of that probably comes from like they don't have God because a lot of these famous people, a lot of these TikTokers, YouTubers, actors, whatever,
I'm an actor.
they they follow what's popular, what's trendy, right? Being Christian is not trendy. Being Christian is so looked down upon. These people don't have God and they're like looking to money and looking to fame to like make them happy. It's like if I can just have more and more and more, I'll be happy. And they're finding that fame is the worst thing that could happen to them. Having lots of money is the worst thing that could have happened to them.
Well,
And so it,
that's
like, makes me now, like, sometimes I get scared, like, that we started this podcast because if it were to blow up, is this gonna be the worst thing or the best thing to happen to us? Part of me is at peace because we have God. We know where our worth is. We know what is important, and we know where our happiness comes from. But at the same time, like, man, these people out here on social media are mean and they can get you down so easily.
yeah. So this is biblical. I just had to pull up the Bible app. Luke 18:25. For it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. And it's not, I mean, this the context of this story was, I think there was a guy who came to Jesus and was like, "Hey, I've done everything right. I'm I haven't sinned. I've kept all the law or whatever." And then Jesus was like, "Great, sell all your stuff and follow me." And he was like, "Nah."
Yeah.
And then Jesus, I think, told his disciples like, "Yeah, it's easier for an eye to, or a camel to pass through the eye of a needle." Which I think, I mean, there's the historical context of that was like a camel through a doorway, and they called that the needle or something. And it had to, a camel would not be able to fit with all the bags and stuff on it, and you'd have to unload the camel for it to pass through. But yeah, that's this idea of um like all these, the more things that you hold on to from the world, the harder it's going to be for you to pass through
Yeah.
the eye of the needle. And so rich people tend to have more worldly baggage, I guess,
Mhm.
because they have cars and money and homes and multiple homes. And
They have more to lose.
yeah, they have more at stake in the world
Yes.
versus like someone who, hey, I've lost everything, last resort.
Or somebody who is like, I don't have anything and I don't need anything except for God, except for
Yeah.
people, except for love and fellowship.
So it's like almost like it's easier for that person who doesn't have anything. It's easier for them to accept Jesus because they need to rely on him. But
Well, and then your focus when you don't have a lot, when you don't have a lot of fancy things, your focus isn't on your things and on like whether you're going to gain more or lose more. Your focus is on God. Does that make sense? Like me, for example, like I'm not worried about, like, sure, there are things that I want, but I'm not worried about having a $5,000 purse, right? And if I had a $5,000 purse, I would literally be thinking about that all the time. Like I don't want my purse to get broken. I don't want
yeah,
my purse to get stolen. But I'm
it's
not
a
worried about that.
it's a mental burden.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. So we have three cars right now, I guess, three vehicles. We have our Pilot family car. Then we have a Camry, which is like my daily car, and then a motorcycle. And I think the thing with the Pilot is there's this kind of mental burden of we still haven't paid it off, and if it gets damaged or if there's something broken with
Yeah.
it, it's like we have to, that's just extra weight that we have on ourselves versus my Camry. If I get a dent in that or someone hits their door into my car, I'll just be
Yeah.
like, whatever, add it to the collection, you know?
Yeah.
And and so I think there's something about that too. Like when you have nicer things, it's you're more susceptible to temptation, and temptation, the temptation being what's the word? I think you know what I'm saying, like that concept of,
Idol
yeah,
idolizing.
I guess. Like you're more tempted to idolize something. Um Especially when we attach numbers to it, like a
Yeah.
$25,000 car or a $500,000 home or
Yeah.
whatever, and then you're like, "Okay, this is the value of that thing.
Yeah.
I need to maintain that."
I was thinking about this the other day when I was shopping. I was like, cuz I always shop at the thrift store or I shop at Ross or Walmart and
For clothes,
for
you mean?
clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or for really anything household items. anything. I cannot bring myself to purchase anything full price or anything that is like over $30. I just can't do it. Like I sure like sometimes I have to make big purchases and it literally just feels like ugh.
Unless it's,
Ugh.
Paw Patrol
Because
shoes. How
listen,
much were the
like
Paw Patrol shoes?
those were $17. Those were for Phoebe, listen, and she really needed new shoes. She wanted those so badly. I will do anything for my kids. I will spend any amount of money on my kids,
Well,
not on myself.
and there's like a yeah, that doing that, I think there is more value that added. It was worth more to us than $17. Not
Yeah.
because the shoes were super nice or anything. It was like $17 to make my kid like just ecstatic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But then
worth
like
it.
here's what I was thinking, like if I were to go and like purchase like eventually everything that you buy is going to get worn, it's going to get broken, something's going to happen to it. And here's the thing. If I were to go to American Eagle and purchase a $75 pair of jeans, if I were to something were to happen, I stained them the day after I bought them or I ripped them the day after I bought them, I would be devastated. I'd be like, "What a waste of money. I spent $75 on these, wore them
Yeah,
one time." I would feel like a piece of crap. Now, I go to the thrift store and I buy a pair of jeans for 10 bucks. I rip them or I stain them. I'm like, "Okay, whatever. It was
yeah.
$10."
So that temptation is higher when you have a higher value thing, but I'm wondering if like that's still an issue internally to think, no matter the value, to think that because you should be able to buy something that's, I mean, I don't recommend buying a $70 pair of jeans or whatever, but
Mhm.
you should be able to, if those get ruined, just be like,
Whatever.
whatever. That was
Right.
a worldly thing.
Anything, any material thing in this world, you should be able to just if it had to come down to it, you should be able to let it go and not trying to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Because the material things of this world will die, but eventually, like we're going to live forever and Jesus is forever. Jesus' love is forever. So that's what you need to be holding on to. You need to like hold on to Jesus because he is forever. I guarantee that at the end of your life, you're on your deathbed, you're going to go, "How silly of me to be so worried and so concerned about these material things. How silly of me to chase all of this money and all of this fame, and I don't have any good relationship. I don't have good memories because I was working so hard. I don't have people don't want to come and see me um on my deathbed because I didn't um what's that word I'm looking for? I didn't feed our relationship. I didn't nurture our relationship. I didn't try hard enough in my relationships or to love people. Last night at church, we were talking about um, like God's commands, and one of his commands is to love. And what is love? Love isn't just a fuzzy feeling. Love is an action. It's saying like I am going to put you before myself. I am going to nurture this relationship. I am going to love you through anything. And that's not just with your spouse, that's with everybody. Like, I just think that's so important to like look at that over like these material things in this world because they're going to go away.
Easy to say, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think I've been like me personally, I've been pretty good with that. Like how often do you hear me like talk about like material things and like how much I'm scared to lose it or like scared to there is definitely part of me that is like has some trauma of like losing everything because that has happened to me before. I have lost everything. Um, and so part of me is like, I don't ever want to go through that again. I don't want my kids to go through that. But for the most part, like everything that we have now, like if it were to go away, like I think at that I'm at a place where it's like I know that God has my back. And I know that anything that I go through, like he's gonna pull me out on the other side and I'm gonna be stronger for it. It's gonna teach me a lesson.
Yeah, I don't want our kids to have that. I don't want our kids to associate losing things with a like a traumatic experience. So I think our kids, the goal is to have them to reach a point where if we do lose something, they're just like, that's okay. I'm bad at it because I'll get mad if like something's spilled. Or I won't get mad, but it'll like frustrate me a little bit. Like if water is spilled or juice is spilled or whatever and something gets messed up. But I have to do better job at kind of letting things like that go. But
Mm.
we have to set that example for our kids so that they, if Phoebe spills something, or just be like, it's okay. Like, that's fine. We'll just move on. You drop something, you break a toy. That's fine. We'll just throw it away or whatever and then move on. Like, it's not the end of the world. We still love each other. We still have each other. Um, God's still with us. I think that's probably a good place to end it. I hear
Yeah.
Phoebe frustrated upstairs, so we should go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
We got to go get shout out to Julia. She's watching the kids. And tomorrow we go to New Mexico for a baby shower. So,
Yep.
yeah, I love you guys. We're going to keep this consistent every week. Please
Mhm.
follow the podcast on wherever you listen to your podcasts. We're going to be there every week for you to
Yeah.
listen to.
But also follow our Instagram because I think we're gonna start posting more than just like podcast clips on there.
Yeah.
So if you guys want more information, we'll probably do like some like questionnaire type things like on our Instagram story.
Yeah.
Like ask us questions. We would love to answer them.
Yeah. But other than that, I think thank you for watching. We love you guys, and we will see you next week.
Bye.